Welcome at the PASS Conference 2024 at ETH Zurich. I'm here with Rachel Kirchin from Carnegie Mellon University. You were co-chair of a minisymposium here at the PASS Conference. Can you tell us about this minisymposium?
Absolutely. So I, along with Michael Herbst from EPFL in Lausanne, co-organized a mini-symposium entitled Composable Julia Software for Atomistic Materials Modeling. This was, as the title much implies, using and building tools in the Julia language for atomistic materials modeling. So things like electronic structure simulations, molecular dynamics, as well as there's a lot of work on sort of new mathematical tools for running and analyzing these simulations.
So you had your discussion because your mini symposium was done. If you would have to tell us an important outcome of this mini symposium, what would you choose?
Yeah, I think the sort of, perhaps if I had to pick one core takeaway message, it's that we're in relatively early days. Julia is a young language. These tools are relatively young, but I think there's a lot of promise in terms of the composability and interoperability that Julia enables. It helps us kind of bring together folks from the more applied math and numerical methods end of things, all the way over to folks more like myself who are kind of domain scientists thinking about using and running and answering scientific questions with these tools, and we can work together to make them better. As Michael likes to say, paraphrasing Alan Edelman, people compose when software composes. So it helps us work together.
Okay, that's a good one. But then you have gained momentum, or you have gained interest from the community. Do you have already an idea what would be the follow-up steps to take?
Yeah, so this is the second of these mini symposiums at PASC. We've also organized similar events at the Julia conferences over the past several years. Michael and I are actually co-delivering a JuliaCon keynote this summer, and we're both organizing workshops this fall. I'll be organizing one at Carnegie Mellon, and he's organizing one hosted at EPFL on related topics. So we're trying to, as I said, it's still sort of early days, so we're trying to just get this community together, kind of build consensus, continue to build momentum around keeping these tools moving.
So, but because you are young in this development, how would you convince a funding agency to keep funding your development?
Yeah, it's a real challenge, right? A funding agency, or to convince a potential new user, right? There's a lot of well-established and really high-functioning tools written in other languages. There's always kind of an activation barrier to switching to a new environment, to a new language. And similarly, I've written funding proposals that haven't been funded because people basically say, well, why should we sort of reinvent the wheel in another language? And I think the key thing that we're starting to realize is that we need to find the right ways to emphasize what Julia brings to the table that wasn't possible or was much more difficult in the pre-existing codes. And I think we're starting to coalesce around some of those messages now.
So thank you very much, Rachel. I hope you will enjoy the rest of the conference and maybe see you next year at PASC 25.
Thank you very much.